before we get started, we have something to announce. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Miss Diana from Gatekeepers Publishing to give out the Publishing Journey Grant.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. It's actually my third year of being here, so it's always a pleasure to meet different writers. Me as an author, just get to support all of your works, but also learn so much from the different speakers and just the talent that is here in Florida and for those traveling in. So we truly appreciate it. Thank you to me and everybody in the team that always makes everything so comfortable, so easy to go through. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get this little paper out and make sure that I represent this upcoming winner properly and introduce myself a little more, my story for you guys. It is an honor to be here and return as the very first recipient of the Publishing Journey Grant presented by Gatekeeper Press. Every year, this grant represents more than a financial support. It represents belief. It tells a writer your story matters, your voice matters, and your work deserves to exist in the world. It is a privilege to share what that belief has meant to me. In 2021, during the uncertainty of the pandemic, I published my very first poetry and prose collection titled I Use It with Gatekeeper Press. And like many authors, I wasn't simply publishing a book. I was truly getting to know, to trust my voice and believe in what it is that I had to say. And from the very beginning, Gatekeeper Press always made sure that that journey was intentional, collaborative, and most importantly, nourishing, because I know what it means to write a book, to share with somebody, and to be like, oh my gosh, I believe that it's good. And it's just that nervousness, right, around the work that matters to us the most. So I learned that, it is truly a pleasure to be able to do what we love in this world. And so being the recipient of the very first grant truly was a full circle moment to go back and go and work with Gatekeeper Press. I wanted to also invest that grant into the Creative Writing Hour, which is an organization that I started 2 years ago for writers and creatives that meet twice a week, and now we have a wonderful 200+ community. I poured that grant back into them, and from there, it's just been a beautiful collection of creative stillness, which you guys will learn about later. And it was built around the belief that we need each other as writers, and that writing and creativity does not have to be a solitary journey. And I truly believe that we're not self-made. We are shaped by every person who has loved us, challenged us, corrected us, encouraged us, grieved with us, and believed in us before we ever believed in ourselves. So every relationship truly leaves us with perspective, compassion, courage, and a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. The Publishing Journey Grant became an opportunity not simply to publish another book, but to create a space for many voices to be heard together. The vision, as I mentioned, was Creative Stillness, an anthology that features 26 writers, poems, and anthologies from people all around the United States. And it is the true pressure to really consider and leave here as I present the next grant. Before I wrap it up, I just want to say, as an author and founder, the experience really truly reaffirmed something for me. Publishing is not so much more, it's not so much more about just putting words together onto the page. It's truly about presenting the stories, traditions of our families, of ourselves, of our humanity. I always encourage everyone to really write from your heart, to be honest, because it's easy to lie to the page. And that's the worst thing that you can do to yourself as a writer, is to be a liar on the page. So let's make sure that every time that you write, every time that you show up, you actually do it knowing that your story has a great impact, that somebody's going to read it, that it's not about the views, that it's not about how many people are going to buy your book, but how are you truly and authentically writing that story and connecting with yourself, your traditions, and people around you. All right, well, almost there, yeah. But yes, I am so grateful to Gatekeeper Press for believing in that possibility, for allowing me and granting me the very first publishing grant. And now, of course, I have the privilege of witnessing another wonderful writer begin what may one day be her own or their own full circle story. It is my honor to announce this year's recipients of the Black Writers Weekend Publishing Journey Grant presented by Gatekeeper Press. And the recipient is Millie Dene with the winning manuscript of When We Were 17, and I hope she's here.
Congratulations. Oh, let me get in that. Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What's what happening?
Thank you so much. I keep writing.
Everyone, Atlanta Mayor Tamika is here. I'm proud to welcome you to the Black Writers Weekend here in Atlanta. For more than 20 years, AAMBC has invested in Black writers, readers, and creative talent while helping Atlanta strengthen its place as a center for Black culture and entrepreneurship. This weekend brings together authors, filmmakers, publishers, and storytellers from across the country to share ideas, sharpen their craft, and build new connections. Atlanta has always been a city where Black stories are written, preserved, and shared with the world. That legacy continues because people like you keep creating. Every book, screenplay, poem, and story has the power to inspire, challenge, and introduce someone to a perspective they may have never considered. Thank you to everyone who has helped grow Black Writers Weekly into a national destination. Thank you for choosing Atlanta once again and have a great weekend.
I'm done with it.
In a world where creativity meets the digital age, one agency stands out from the rest. Welcome to Delphi Legacy Media. We are a team of passionate experts and creators dedicated to elevating your brand to new heights.
I learned so much today. It was really inspiring to hear everyone speak about all the different experiences and get together authors and screenwriters and learned a lot from this.
Do I want to record?
Yeah, just the screen.
Okay, how do I do it? Because my vision is.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't see it's like.
Whether you're
Okay.
an author, a business owner, or an artist, our services include interviews, media tours, book tours, and speaking engagements, all designed to put your brand in the spotlight. Are you an artist that seeks to obtain more media, headline your own book tour,
Oh, okay.
or an actor, or perhaps you need media training to best prepare yourself? Whatever it may be, we can manage it. Picture your brand in the limelight. Picture your brand in the limelight. Your vision realized. And Delphi Legacy Media, we're partners in your success. Ready to take your brand to the next level? Contact us today. Delphi Legacy Media, where creativity meets success.
You don't have a choice. You don't matter. You don't speak the fact that you got to learn the sense. It is okay. I get you. Does he not get that? The only thing I get you. That's the part. Get out
How my journey was being a parent evolved. I would have never guessed that. I would have never said that was going to happen a day in my life where I would not enjoy being married, where I would not enjoy being a mother.
with my friends. Just chilling. You know, there's house being just whatever. You know, we try very hard to do this just what. They just wouldn't let us. We wanted us to. They're very
You know what they all say. Black folks don't read.
bookstore.
Well, I got to move to now. Because at the end of the day, my work is not about me. My work is about the artist. I've always advocated for us. Now for 17 years.
Oh, okay, I go back up. Everybody say you see that? Nothing looking for each other. Look at them shopping. I promise you. Somebody may shop. Got distracted. Ooh. I'm sorry. My mom has this thing. Quick to get things in the rest of the it's true. So, it's true. There's a week driving. And so we have to change the facilities. 27. So this is we were later. We were saying. So,
You already know what it is. Even in person, it's not just a phrase. It's a testament.
like I hate you.
It's the labels, the rejection letters, the doors that open and the ones that keep that opinion. It's the lived truth of what it means to be a black author and navigating issues that were already built in time and choosing to show up, create, and thrive regardless. This conversation is for everyone in this room who has ever had to fight for their story. And today, we have two who have done exactly that. First, an acclaimed author, entrepreneur, and the visionary founder of Delphi Publications, and the woman who created and founded the very event you are sitting in right now, Black Writers Weekend. As the founder of AAMBC, she has built one of the most powerful literary ecosystems in the country, opening doors for countless emerging authors and championing diversity and inclusion across the literary landscape. She didn't just navigate the industry, She built your home. Please, Tamika Jamison. An award-winning best-selling author, public speaker, CEO, and creative visionary straight out of Chicago. Best known for the Hellfire Palace and the Queen's Beast Saga. She writes romance, fantasy, dark romance, with cinematic energy, heat, and zero apologies. Now expanding its film. She's living proof that only you are the most powerful creator. Please, look. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me give a warm Black Writers Weekend Atlanta welcome to our lead in Houston families and
Oh, yeah, friend. Hey, y'all.
Good morning, y'all. We have never been, let me just say this first. To all the fireflies out there, we finally made it to the backstage, okay? Normally, you shut me in a broom closet in the back and tell me to get a t-shirt.
She was wanting me in the back of house.
That's not true. I said, put me on the backstage. I've been with you for what, 11 years?
I thought it was longer than that, but
Now we're doing 11, yeah.
it's over there.
And every year you shut me in the corner somewhere and said, get to work.
She asked to be over there.
That's not true.
She said she loved y'all, but
I do love y'all. You know what? Anyways, me and you have never had, we've had plenty of conversations, right?
yes.
We have been through a bunch of stuff since I met you in 2015.
Yes.
But I don't think we've ever publicly done anything together. So I'm very excited to have this conversation with you.
Now we had, because when I started getting really busy with producing and traveling, and I couldn't find time to write, I think it was Tamika, the clutch, and she helped me finish Plain Jane.
Plain things to with Sugar Hill.
And it should be here. See, so I gotta write you again.
Oh,
So outside that, though, we haven't collaborated on anything just yet, but now it's like,
So I want to take us back, right, to the summer of 2015. I know it was June because I had just came back from my girls' trip, plus Dion, like I hate Dion, he on live. And we just came back from Miami and you called me, okay? I have been rejected by so many publishers and pages and you called me. What was the impression you had? To be honest. So I'm gonna tell you guys now, we're about to have a very honest conversation. I love four-letter words, so excuse my cursing. So what was your honest impression of me the first time we saw?
my first impression of you was bubbly, optimistic, maybe a little bit, the way you be acting now, super confident now, like through the roof. I feel like that wasn't the case then. It's almost to the point where you didn't, I wouldn't say you didn't believe, because the fact that you submitted yourself to be published, that was faith in itself. But it was almost like, me? Like me? You gonna choose me? Like, that was something like that. And for me, when it came to selecting writers that I wanted to publish, it starts with the story first, because I don't know the actual author. But the story was good. And so, but outside of that, it was, I think that the confidence grew over time when, especially when I began to take you on the road and put you on the book signs.
So let's talk about that. That's not on these note cards. So let's talk about that first time you took me on the road.
It was the first time, I remember.
You was in Miami. Okay.
Oh, at the Miami Book Fair.
Yes. Now you told me, you said, I'm gonna take you on the road, it's gonna be a wonderful time. It's a small little event. You're gonna go there, you're gonna sell your books. I don't know if you've been to the Miami Book Festival. It was like 1,000 authors out there. I had never been to a book event of that size. And she wasn't even there when I got there.
I had got sick. So I had got sick, and so I had to kind of like regroup. I think I had missed like a day.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, where is this publisher lady? I'm walking with no books and just myself.
What was the book fair?
I didn't hear.
Okay.
What did you know? What's the deal?
But look, very out there. So like, the thing like is, when you are doing these type of events, almost anything can go wrong and almost anything can go right. So at the end of the day, it helps you build character.
That's what she calls character. I should have known then you was gonna be a problem,
Got
okay?
the problem?
Yes.
I think
Because
that's
Tamika comes to me with these beautiful dreams,
Yes.
okay? These wonderful ideas, and that's the Gemini in you.
Yes.
But the Capricorn in me is like, let's break this down into reasonable action steps, friend.
You said it to me a few times.
Yes. So I love your big dreams.
Yeah.
But we can't get them done tomorrow. So I'm gonna need you to, still down.
But for me, there's no such thing as a no. It's like, how we gonna make this work?
That is true.
That part.
How we gonna get it done?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you. Classic.
I think I'm learning it from you, like there's no dream too big. You know, in the beginning I was like, let me just write my urban fiction books and hope I get a couple of dollars and that's it, right? And now, I mean, I'm a multi-genre, moving into film and stuff like that. I would have had that confidence to do it when I did it.
Like, I will say, though, Delphine Publications is, the Delphine is named after me, like my mother's business. And so I collect rights. And so I decided to create a publishing company and name it after her. The main reason was I wanted everyone to say her name for me. She wasn't here, but I wanted her name to be on the tip of everybody's tongue. And then she represented fun, fear, joy, sadness, seriousness, Christian. Like she represented everything, so I wanted to pretty much create all kind of stories. So when you begin to tap into different genres, I was with it. I almost never really said no when my artist wanted to put out a different story. Like if that's the story you want to put out and you believe in it, cool, let's rock with it, let's see if it works.
That's true. So if you had not said yes, Queens of Beast would not be here today. Because Queens of Beast is supposed to be a one-off story. Now we are on a million spin-offs.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, friend. What's something, and we talked about this in the film, how, you born me, I'm born you, we go back and forth. But what's something I gave you that had nothing to do with money or business?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, dang, that's kind of like a tough one. But I will say, I am, like, you probably would never know this because of the work that I do, but I am really, like, in my shell. Like, I could be like a turtle that goes into their shell and don't really come out for a while. And I will say, when it comes to Phoenix, what I learned is just another new safe space or safe, like real talk, like a safe space. I don't really have that with a lot of people. One, I've dealt with the most ugliest and rudest people. Well, I'm not just ugly in physical features, but in spirit, everything out there I ain't rocking with, I don't like them like at all. And I've dealt with, we had to kick somebody out the other day, they had a little ugly spirit. Bless their heart. Yeah, I mean, and so because I have been approached with almost every negative situation you can think of, even from people I never thought that I'd get it from. I can be very like guarded. I don't really be rocking with people like that. And so outside of like business and creativity, I would think that what I got from you is another level of trust and safety. And so I think I bring it up a few times because it was one night out. Because I used to smoke a lot. Now we smoke a little bit. Yeah, I'm work in progress, yeah. But it was one night I was drunk and I was high, and I had to tell Phoenix how much I appreciated you. It was a late night test. You think I was probably like telling you I love you and stuff, and asking you to be my girl and all that. But I really had to just tell you, like, in that moment, how I really appreciated you. People can say a lot of stuff about you, and this girl has never came to me and be like, "Well, is it real? Is it true? Why do you say this?" She never really questioned my character, and so that's why I say like a safe space is what I learned. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I've never questioned your character because I've seen, and we've been through more things than most people will even know or remember. And it never came to me like, did Tamika do that? No, because I've seen you, you know what I mean? And I
You
can,
would think them other folks would have been like, no, Tamika, we doing this stuff. If y'all want to know what I'm talking about, you have to listen to Tracy Tamika. That's my memoir podcast. I always talk about it, more, but you can go back and listen to those recordings. And I was talking about everybody, and their mama, and their mama's talking about something that had.
there was a lot of bad behavior, and we're gonna talk about that too, because I think in this industry, people come in here with a sense of entitlement, right? I was saying that one, reason I think both of us have been so successful is we've never put our success on somebody else or our failures on someone else. I remember the first time, because I put out bestseller on other drugs.
Yeah.
And then I put out fooling around. And I was making so much money. And then I was decided I was gonna rest on my laurels. Okay, I was gonna be like, I was gonna take a few months off and just have a wonderful time. And then I got a check for $6. And I called you and you sounded so stressed, but I think you knew I was calling you about that check. And I didn't say, Tamika, where's my money? I said, Tamika, how can I make sure this don't happen again?
Yes, you did say it.
I never put it on you for me to be successful because you told me in our very first conversation, I'm your publisher, not your publicist. How much money you make depends on you, not me. And so when you have authors out here who are making it where it's the event's fault that I'm not selling, it's the publisher's fault that I'm not selling, it's the book talkers. Because you know what, them book talkers, they don't never talk about my book.
Right.
Well, we gotta give them something to talk about. You know what I mean? There's a million books out there, and y'all be nice to the book talkers too, because y'all be so mean to them, but they don't give you the stories like, yeah. Y'all be so mean to the folks, like, I feel like in this industry, especially my up-and-coming artists, you are going to get what you put in. If you are being a negative person, I promise you, I have tried at least 20 people this weekend, and we're on day 2 that I will never work with. And if anybody comes to me and asks me about you, I'm gonna say, oh, I wouldn't work with them. And that means that you are not gonna be working with that person. The industry is small, okay? So the impression that you got the first time, that's what's going to last. And I think I put out a good reputation where like I don't take no this, talk to me any kind of way. But I'm always down to help. And I think it's the same like you've been building the business experiences with people and you've never asked for anything in return.
The only thing I ask for in return is we all tell somebody about Black Brothers Speaking. Like it's honestly year after year. And so when I started, and then I'll take it back a little bit, when I started this platform, if you don't have the funding, you can't really get the big names. So I do a lot of people that were very talented, but they either have a film out, a book out, or nobody would put them on their stage. And I saw something in them, and I would put them on my stage. And a lot of them would go on to get book deals, so they got multi-million-dollar companies now, and New York Times bestsellers and things like that. And just an example, just a dozen people where that has happened for. It just takes somebody just to put you on the platform. But don't forget where you first ate. I was telling you. Like, and I use this from all the time. This is like a potluck. With a potluck, everybody brings something for everybody to eat on. Yes. Don't just come here and you want to eat. And then you want to take a slow plate too. Chef brings out. Chef is on the patio. That's what we not out here. So I always tell people, please just come to my Black Writers Weekend. Don't just come to Black Writers Weekend when you want a program. Don't just come to Black Writers Weekend when you want to do a book signing. Like, don't get opportunities. This is a community-based organization. So please come and love on us and share the love and share your resources and just show up. So that's why I ask for y'all. That's like, other than that, rock out. Do what you want to do.
So I have a question that was asked to me recently, and I had to pause and think about it. I'm gonna ask you without answering.
Okay.
What did success cost you?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna cry when I have that question. I'm not trying to chase this. You want me to go first,
You
Fran?
can go first, I'll look later. Go ahead.
It cost me everything. My son hates Phoenix Williams. He loves his mama, okay? But he hates the persona of Phoenix Williams because I have been Phoenix Williams since he was 5. Wow. Phoenix Williams took him to go sell books at the trunk of a car. Phoenix Williams' money is put into college. He appreciates that. Now, what he does not appreciate is how I was on the road all the time, how I was constantly working and writing. He understands the hustle. He understands mentally what I had to do to provide. Because Tamika and I are both teen moms. Okay, I had my son in high school. He was at my high school graduating. He was with me on college campus. He was with me everywhere. He's been with me from everything. And Phoenix Williams is not something that he wants to be a part of because when you want to reach a certain level of success, something has to give. You are going to miss important times. My friends be looking at me like, girl, you came straight from looking into my wedding. Yeah, I missed the ceremony, but I was at the reception.
Right.
Your baby shower is going on, and I had a meeting, I'm late, I'm showing up, so you missed all the important times. You're going to, what success costs me, the memories. Things that I cannot get back, and things I'm still making up for to this day. I'm not proud of that. But my dad said, he always tells me this. He said, baby, you cannot complain about what you asked for. So I don't complain when I am sitting here doing the late nights with Tamika and I on the phone trying to plan out Black Writers Weekend, and I am trying to write the films and do all the things. I don't complain because I asked for it. So success cost me everything. It cost me relationships. It's cost me friendships. It's cost me my sanity in some cases. But what it gave me was a sense of purpose with my writing. It gave me the opportunity to make my son's wildest dreams come true. He's never had to ask, can we afford it? He's never had to ask, like, is that out of my reach? He will tell anybody, yeah, I don't either, that my mom was off on the road, but I know that anything is possible because I watched her do it. He was right there with me since I was 17 till now, making these dreams come true. So if you are trying to be successful and trying to have it all, I'm sorry to tell you that that is not going to happen. You're going to have to give up something, and I would say give up a few pieces of everything so you can still have stuff, but it won't be the full experience. And so that's what success costs me.
Like, that's true. That's pretty much the same thing. Success has cost me time, I guess, like when you say memories. But time is in a sense, and I was kind of later in the sense where my author career booming. It was on point. Literally, I helped change the direction of ebooks by making my ebook 99
She was the first person that did the 99 cents.
And when I did it, people began to follow suit because it created like a viral reaction. I said, but everybody knows that movie. I can go to a grocery store or be in the mall or whatever the case may be and not have somebody, hey, ask, hey, are you Tamika? And I would kind of shrink in that space. I really didn't, because sometimes I was looking ugly. Like I wanted to be comfortable. And so I found myself kind of like retreating a little bit because I really didn't like that attention that much, not like that. And then I felt, I don't know if people know the meaning of the word Tamika, the name Tamika. Tamika means child of the people. And I literally lived out my life's purpose, which is my work through Black Writers Weekend. A lot of the times I used to kind of, cry and kick and scream and kind of have these regrets because Black Writers Weekend does distract me from my own journey. But I love producing Black Writers Weekend because of all of the goodness that comes from it, the success that people get from it, the people that they meet from it. And I understand that this journey that I am on is purpose-given. And it's like it's in me. I can't stand but not to do it. Many moons, I will complain and say I'm quitting. I'm tired because people is mean. and I'm spending my whole money, and that's nothing, money. Like, it cost me money because I could have had a lot more early on, but I would take a lot of my own money and I invested in Black Rights Weekend, or I invested in the AAC Awards that I used to produce. And it will, it sometimes it got to me. Because, again, money, time is definitely time you can't get back. And money, I mean, I could have spent that on something else, but my children never went without. They always went to good schools. They never came home, their lights was off. Never came home, they had no food. And literally, like Phoenix said, we were teen moms. And single moms, for the most part, most of my children's adolescents had to take care of them by myself. And that was just not an easy journey. And I'm doing that while creating these spaces for everybody else. So I used to have these conversations with God and be like, you gotta give me something. You gotta give me something else. Because this is what you want me to do. You won't have to feed me at the same time as I'm running on empty. So that was what I would say the success cost me was time is the money.
And we have time for one last, thing between us, before I open up to Q&A.
Yeah, I had no
That's the way you
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. When our relationship stopped feeling like mentor and mentee and becoming something more reciprocal? That's a good question.
I would say, with all the events that happened in 2019.
Oh, with the people?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't talk about that.
I'll paraphrase. Let me say, this is literally my experience. Let me paraphrase a little bit, and then you can answer the question. I was a publisher, and I still am a publisher, but as Phoenix stated, when you get a publishing deal, it's like getting a record deal. Your record company, they're going to invest in you, they're going to do your rebranding, your studio sign, whatever the case may be. Then when that album comes out, what normally happens?
They get their money back.
They got to get their money back because you're an investment. Right. And so how do they recoup their money? Through marketing, through tours. Like, it's a lot that goes into it. Publishing is the same game. It's just a different product. And so when you are publishing other people, especially when you have like direct contact with you, that entitlement can kick in. And I'm also an author too. So when I'm on tour, they ask me where my book at. Well, I don't know, the warehouse is open. This is my book sign. I would have these type of conversations and this type of conflicts. And when their success was not at the level they wanted, I got so much hate and pushback. Now, this is what pissed me off because at the end of the day, I'm an investor and I invested in your project. So essentially, this is my book. You wrote it, but until you get my money back, that's my book. And you have an attitude with me, and I'm losing money. It was not a good position to be in because when my company was really skyrocketing, it was paperbacks. Everybody was doing paperbacks. Ebook came into the game, and then ebooks shifted. A lot of people were not buying paperbacks like that, and it created a huge deficit within my company that people would not quite understand because this is a business, and they're not focused on the business, they just want their check. But they're not doing book signings, they're not carrying their weight, and at one point, one of these artists created a narrative. And the internet, people like to talk with their thumbs. I don't want to talk about thumbs like that. I'll talk to you in your face. I'll tell you how I feel to your face.
I want to talk no Facebook thugs.
That's why I used to call them Facebook thugs. And on Twitter fingers. And so this one art that he created, a domino effect of an opportunity for people to be like, oh yeah, I would like to meet you. She thinks she all that, which I did. I did. All that. And so it created an opportunity for them to create these narratives. People that I ate at their table. I know their children. I know their mama, they fed me. I was in their house. They were sick or in the hospital and I went to their bedside. These same people had some negative things to say. And I was like, God, these your children? This is what you want me to experience? And it ate me up in a way where I'm like, yeah, I'm not, let me take a little step back. Because this is not fair. I'm losing money, I'm losing time, I'm losing peace, I'm losing my patience. And everybody and mama has something to say about that, except y'all not making me no money. Like, let's get back to that conversation. I don't care if you like me or not, where is the money?
Yeah, remember how they took my unreleased book and released it, and I had to go back and rewrite it before it came out on Amazon?
Yes.
So,
What?
I think
It's a lot. If y'all want to hear it in detail, you gotta go listen to Tracy's Nika.
Which episode?
Which
Which episode?
episode.
Oh, which episode? Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe the
Probably the
song.
whole first season.
You know, that's the whole first season. Yeah, so it's streaming on like Spotify, YouTube,
No, I feel-
Pandora, all that.
And I haven't told my story yet, because you know I have nothing nice to say. But, and I promised my parents I would act right these days. Okay.
Because they will pop back up like
I
right.
was when all that happened, and I was like, oh, let's roll out to such and such. And you was like, let's not, let's go to our book again.
They tried to cancel me. They tried to start the GoFundMe or something.
It was a GoFundMe, it was
That
a,
wasn't a GoFundMe, it was some type of
it was a pledge.
It's like yeah. Like, damn, for real? Did that, what is the money?
And
Like,
in parentheses,
let's
it
focus
said,
on that. All this energy, you know, these big campaigns, and y'all couldn't even put this energy on the book side? That's why I understand. Right.
and I think that's where me and you really like, we were already locked in, my sister like you locked in for real, because
Yes.
my books are being given away for free. You were being dragged through the mud. I was being dragged through the mud for not turning on you. But I was like, here's the thing, okay? Being friends with your publisher is easy. If you remember, the friendship begins when the contract ends, okay? A lot of people get it twisted where they're like, oh, well, you know what? We friends, them girls, so that contract, I mean, yeah, but not really, no. The contract is the contract. I've never had an issue with you in the contract, but it's a royalties when it came to my responsibilities, what I told you in terms of deliverables, because I read my contract and I knew what I signed up for. I read it, my daddy read it, my best friend read it. Okay, it was on ChatGPT at that time. We all read it. Okay, we brought out the dictionary. We was like, what does this word mean? Okay, what does that mean? Let's Google it. Everybody in my circle read it, so we were all on the same page. And so to me, it was never an issue when it came to argument. I don't think we even ever had an argument. Because to me, what's there to argue about? It's a book, not candy. We gonna be on that.
Yes. We not only will we end up being okay, but it taught me just the lack of accountability that people will have. At the end of the day, for instance, Black Writers Weekend, these people will be on the stage this weekend. They're gonna give y'all so much information. They're going to tell you how they did it right, how they did it wrong. And y'all are gonna hear this information. You're gonna hear and receive these resources. What you do with it though, that ain't on us. When we put y'all in this room and there's all these people here that you can network with, you can talk to, and you don't just sit your butt in the seat and I shake no hand, and then go home and be like, they didn't want all that. Really? It wasn't. It wasn't all that. Was you was not on it. We have to do some self-reflections and take some accountability, be very intentional with our own journey. And I always say, like, this is a collaboration. We are collaborating with each other. Fitness and I will curate and put this thing together. But it don't matter if y'all don't show up. See, that's collaboration. Now, when y'all show up, now you gotta do your part. You gotta send the information. And don't waste our time and not do it. Like, sometimes we give out so much information, and then for you to go home and not use it, really, what we doing?
just
Louisa.
that you guys have developed to kind of navigate all the different parts. I understand that you guys it's time and memories but like how do you navigate the spaces that you do have? Like how do you take the time to still be home, still business woman, still take time to create? So I can't work out. So I protect my hours. Okay.
She really did.
I will not answer that phone. I will not leave that house. People have been emailing me all weekend with questions. Guess what? You're not getting an answer. It's my business. Okay. When I'm at home with my son, when he's home from college, don't talk to me. What are you talking to me for? I'm over here cooking like my name is Dula May. Okay. I'm over here making greens and chicken and feeding my son. Okay. When it's time for me to do Black Farmers Weekend stuff, nobody else bothers me. Every other Saturday, I'm in my mentor group, nobody bothers me. Protect your hours and set boundaries. It took a while in the beginning for me, my friends were like, oh, well, can you do, no, I can't. And no is a full sentence. I don't even explain my notes, I'm like, answer is no. And then people look at me like, and I'm looking at them like, okay, like, the answer is no. So protect your hours.
Discipline with your schedule. Because when you're creative, you kind of, especially work from home, you can get distracted, so you have to be very disciplined. I want to say there was maybe a few years where I did not have internet in my home on purpose. It forced me to leave the house to actually work outside the house, and I was just training and watching, stuff on my phone. But I would not have internet in my home. That way I could make sure that I am not working all of these extra hours. So sometimes you have to trick yourself as well too. And then being a single mom, I took my kids on the road with me. So by the time my daughter was probably, 7, 8, something like that, and my son was like 3, 4, I took him on the road with me to be a part of the book signing. So I made a family event. And so I would tell Jimmy, my son, like, this book is like, this I love book. So go find it. My son Jimmy was so cute. My son would sell all the books. My daughter, she would do like transactions, get the emails, and just kind of find a system. So you have to know your children and make them a part of the show. And I would tell them, look, you want something to eat? I would tell my son, you want some Burger King? I'm not going to get some Burger King money. So kind of just let them know, like, this is for us. And it kind of made me feel a part of it. And then be disciplined with your time. That's about it.
And y'all.
Hi, my name is Jamie. Nice to meet you. My question is, how was your first experience if you did like pitch your book and if you got rejected, like how did you take the rejections and keep it as motivation to keep writing?
So this is back in 2014 when I was pitching. There weren't a lot of publishing houses. Like right now, everybody in my month is trying to be a publisher. Okay, back then there weren't that many. I did get callbacks from like Kensington and FEMA. They said, oh, we will start similar to we're gonna pass. It hurt a little bit, but not that much because my daddy's always good for a word. My daddy always says some people like apples and some people like oranges. Ain't nothing wrong with the apple or the orange, it's your preference, right? So I understood that's because you said no to my book did not mean that my book was bad. Even now, you're going to get rejected even in your career. Like, I'm 30 books in, I still get rejections. I'm a 20-time bestseller, I still get rejections. Even when it comes to like me moving into the film space, it's always a no. So if you go ahead and understand you're going to get rejected, and that doesn't reflect on you as a person or your work, take the criticism and then move on, then you'll be fine.
I answer in reference to when I self-published because I did do the research to submit, but once I discovered the art of self-publishing, it was over with. I just went ahead and did it myself. I was super excited about that. And so when I put my book out, I did not put myself on tour because I'm like, okay, how do people know that my book is out? And I'm just 21 at this point. So I remember booking myself a flight to North Carolina, went to Fayetteville. I kind of put together, so I went to Fayetteville and Durham and Raleigh, and I sold 4 books that whole time I was gone. I gave 2 out to the bookseller in the city. So in total, I spent like $700. The flight that was my first time putting myself on a flight, so I had never flown. Like I was doing the most. I was just so excited. And so it was 6 books that I ended up, leaving in North Carolina. And you would think that somebody would be super, what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraged. But I was excited, oh my God, 6 people are reading a book. And so I put myself on a flight every morning, all the way to the 9th month where I was nominated for stuff published art of the year. And then being the acquisition editor of the Theta. She heard about those phenomena, that was my debut novel. Because again, I was super aggressive. And they heard about the book, and then they bought the book, and gave me a book deal, and my book was everywhere, all over the world. So it's 2 ways that you can do it. So you cannot feel defeated when you don't hit your number that you want, and you just keep going and keep trying over and over again.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Well, let's do.
We have what? Speak up, Pam, you were already in line. We'll go ahead and take 2. Okay, so should we go ahead and ask 1? And we gotta keep our answers short, because I gotta look at this. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I can go ahead? Oh, okay, I thought she was the last one, okay. All right, my name is Abner, author of In Between Worlds. I'm here networking, trying to send my book to a movie. This is my first Black Writers Weekend.
Okay, welcome.
Tamika, Phoenix, nice to meet you. Yesterday I was so super early, today I'm on the 8th day. Late, I'm just getting here to hard. But my question is simply, as far as the pitch fest, right? Is it better for me to go ahead and upgrade to the 250 thing? Is there like a guarantee that I'll be able to pitch my?
What's the 250?
I thought it was like 30-something%.
Okay, so you're trying to get the pitch fest. That's why I am showing you that. Pitch fest is my thing.
Because I'm over here trying to be a casting crew, so.
Okay, so if you're trying to turn your book into a movie, pitch fest is not gonna be, that was yesterday.
I can yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was the time to network. You're supposed to be on pitch in this year. Today, yeah, that's the, so on the website, it's their books.
Okay.
It's okay. It's in books, it's only books. Yesterday was time for them. It's not y'all said, the network, you had to mix it like. I know we got one there. So, unfortunately, unless you find your book deal, there's no film pitch festival.
No, I'm empty out there. I was just going to be anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, like network the room. A lot of the greatest gifts, the connection that you can make be organic. That's why we also do these spaces every night for us.
Okay. All right.
Now, you do.
All right.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for all of this. It's been great. This is my first Black Writers Weekend as well, and I have just a couple of questions. One, you mentioned the networking. You come here, sitting or what have you. What are some do's and don'ts as far as follow-ups after this weekend? How important is your social media presence, having one to get it published?
All right, I'll answer it first. So if somebody else like a statue of ask for like their team or their assistant's email, their assistant's the moment you ask that they're not very target information, not only to turn it off, they will give you the wrong information and you lost that connection. Outside of that, you should have a digital business cards and you can always exchange information. And it's really very intentional. Literally, I would ask people when I was introduce myself, hey, what do you do? And you just go straight into just have organic conversation after to ask them that question. But I just want to know what you do. It's working,
Okay, and I'm gonna jump on that before I go to the social media thing. Please stop finding people's emails online and I've been on top of the girl this weekend. I got an inbox full of emails. So if you email me, I'm sorry, you are not getting a response. I actually look at the email. My team looks through to figure out what's important and what's not. And if it's not important, it's not gonna show me. Right? Because before someone has asked you to email them, don't just send out blind emails. You're probably not gonna get a response. As in social media, it's extremely important. I see a lot of authors make a mistake when they start doing their social media work after the book has come out. It's way too late. 6 months beforehand, you have your marketing plan ready. You want to reach out to book talkers, okay? Be respectful when you do it.
And be short and quick with it. Long messages are very, very long, especially when you're not doing it. So we gotta get straight, very short introduction.
The elevator pitch.
Yes.
And because you're a gold status member, you're gonna go to the resource room. We have a vault in there, a visual vault, where you can go ahead and do the QR code. You will get a bunch of resources in there, including how to do a marketing plan, how to network in person, and then also how to do social media. So make sure you check it out, okay?
Thank you, ladies.
All right, one more, now we like to close it on that.
Hi, thank you. My name is Tamika. I'm the creator of What's Poppin' Petty podcast about a little girl with red skin and curly hair living in a multi-generational home. Yes, me. I have over 200,000 downloads and my audience is growing every single day. My question is, with the podcast, I always recommend books. Literacy is very important to me. So I now just, I finished my first book based on the series, and I want to know, is it, thank you. And so I've been sending out my query letters, and getting a lot of rejection, and I want to know, is it best to stay the course with trying to get a literary agent, or is it best if I self-publish?
I have a question. Is the book based around what's popular? But I would not even think about being a traditional publisher. And let me tell you why. You already built the brand. And so when you build the brand from the ground up and you have something that is distinguishable about your brand, and then you go to a publishing house, now they own the brand. I would go ahead and I would self-publish.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much.
Hey, y'all, that's what we gotta shut it down.
Thank you, guys, so much.
Started. As Phoenix mentioned, if you are Item Creative or Gold Pass, we have a resource room. It's gonna be the last one to your left, where you get all this information. You can download it. It's a vault that you can scan this QR code and you can receive all this information to retain it and to read it, to study it, and actually utilize it for your journey.
There's also snacks in there, and then if you look at the schedule, you will see there are one-on-ones. So if you have a Gold Eye Creative Pass, you will have a one-on-one, in about, I would say 10 to 15 minutes with Lynette J. Black, who will go over your film pitch. If you are an author, then you can see as the, you'll see on the screen. So go to the resource room and you'll see a schedule right there. And am I going to repeat this? Absolutely not. No.
You know, oh, also too, Asia, you can put our app. Please scan our app, festival app. It is inside of our new immersive training called Book World. Right now, we got inside of the Book World yet.
Can you explain that a little bit more? It's a little confusing.
They're gonna have a whole section on that, today and tomorrow. But also, if you already go to I Am Creative Pass holder, you guys are automatically entered into a raffle to have raffle tickets tomorrow. So make sure you pick up the raffle ticket. I'm going to be going ahead and during that raffle, you'll be able to ask me anything about the literary and young industry, okay? So pick that up at the Jamison.
Can you get our picture?
Give me a second.
Kenda. Oh, are you on video?
When you finish, I need yours. Oh.
Tamika. What? Mother. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Am I ending it?
And
What do you want to go in?